In this story, we will hear about how a teen girl driving alone at night experiences a surreal encounter with radiant, otherworldly entities, forever altering her perception of the universe and her place in it. I've always loved the freedom of driving alone. Just me, the radio, and miles of open road ahead. But last night, that freedom transformed into a terror I can't shake off. It was Friday night, and I was driving back from my friend Lucy's house. I'd taken the usual back road, a quiet stretch that winds through the countryside. The clock on my dashboard read 11:23 p.m. I was singing along to some old rock song when my radio started acting strange. First, it became staticky, and then it switched to a weird frequency where a low, humming sound replaced the music. I fumbled with the dials, but the radio seemed stuck. That's when I saw the lights in the sky. At first, I thought they were drones, or maybe military aircraft. They moved in patterns, swirling, contracting, and expanding. Suddenly, they seemed to focus on me. One of the lights broke formation and zipped down, hovering a few yards in front of my car. It was too bright to be any drone I knew of. My skin tingled with goosebumps. The light morphed into a beam that shot towards the ground, illuminating a circle right before my car. I slammed the brakes, my heart pounding. A voice echoed through the radio, now a mixture of static and that weird hum. "Do not fear," it said. What was I supposed to do? This was straight out of a science fiction movie. I pinched myself, hoping I'd wake up. But the radiant beam stayed put, and the voice repeated, "Do not fear." Despite my instincts screaming at me to reverse and speed away, I found myself stepping out of the car. My legs wobbled as I walked towards the light. As I entered the circle it created, my surroundings changed. I was no longer on the back road or anywhere earthly. I was in some sort of otherworldly landscape. Rocks floated in the air, and the sky, if you could call it that, had a pulsating, purplish hue. Entities appeared before me, but they weren't like anything I'd ever seen. They were radiant, almost translucent, and emitted a soothing hum that resonated in my chest. "You are chosen," they communicated, not with words, but through sensations and emotions that flooded my mind. For what felt like hours or maybe seconds, time didn't make sense there. I stood in awe, absorbing images and thoughts they projected into my mind. The universe was bigger than I'd ever imagined, filled with life forms incomprehensible to humans. And they had been watching us, waiting for the right time to make contact. "We will meet again," they conveyed, "when the time is right." As quickly as it had changed, my environment reverted back. I was standing on the same road, my car behind me, and the clock still stuck at 11:23 p.m. The hovering light zipped back into formation with the others, and, like a shooting star, vanished into the horizon. I got back into my car, my mind struggling to grasp what just happened. I drove back home, parked my car, and sat there for a good half hour, contemplating if I should tell anyone. Who would believe me? I went to bed, but sleep eluded me. Every time I closed my eyes, those radiant entities appeared, filling me with emotions I can't describe. Today, as I write this, I feel different. Like I'm carrying a weighty secret that's both a blessing and a curse. No one needs to believe me. I don't need validation for what I experienced. I know they'll come back, and until then, the night sky will hold a different meaning for me. As scared as I was, a part of me yearns to see them again, to learn more about what lies beyond our tiny world. So, when I drive alone at night now, I can't help but glance at the sky, waiting and wondering. And that radio frequency, it's saved in my car, even though it only plays static. Because you never know, maybe, just maybe, they'll decide it's the right time for a second meeting.